home. She is a former BigWing employee who now is with American Fidelity. She is basically the headliner of Confluence because she's our last speaker. If this were a Coachella poster, your name would be big across the top. It's Rachel Mann. Green. Will go.
Awesome. No pressure, right? After Confluence last year, I almost quit my job. That's right. My boss is here. He knows. Don't worry. I went to Confluence, and I got so much awesome information. I learned about technical SEO. I learned about social media marketing. I learned about all of this cool PPC targeting, and I realized American Fidelity wasn't ready for any of it. We did not have a website that I wanted to send people to. I'm a digital marketer, and I couldn't do digital marketing. I was extremely discouraged by not being able to do what I was passionate about, but it wasn't just about me. I saw the potential that American Fidelity had to succeed, but we didn't have the buy-in we needed. Fast forward to a year later, now, we just launched a brand new website at AmericanFidelity.com. We have an entire team dedicated to digital marketing, and we're about to launch our first fully integrated digital campaign. Yeah. So this is the story I want to tell you guys today. I want to show you how through passion, patience, and persistence, American Fidelity went from direct, boots-on-the-ground sales to integrating digital into their strategy, and how through that, we created a culture of digital marketing. Before I get started, I do have a bit.ly of my slides. If you're interested, just be sure to use all caps when you do RM-digital. Otherwise, you'll get a microbiology slide deck. Don't know what that is. It's probably not as interesting as this, though. So I'm Rachel Mann. I'm the digital engagement team lead at American Fidelity Assurance Company. I've been there for 2.5 years, and as Ryan mentioned, I have a background in digital marketing agency work. American Fidelity is a bit of a mouthful to explain. We are a B2B2C, niche market, supplemental insurance and benefits administration company. We are extremely regulated. We're an insurance company. We have to follow health insurance rules. We're also a finance company. So if you think that your industry is regulated, talk to me afterward. Challenge accepted. American Fidelity's been around since 1960, and our headquarters are here in Oklahoma City. We have 1,700 employees, and we have salespeople all over the US, so we sell in every state except for New York. Marketing for American Fidelity is a bit of a challenge, but it's a fun challenge, and it's an exciting challenge. But you can see maybe why it's taken us a bit to get to the modern day 2018 digital marketing. Before I get started, I'm kind of curious about the audience. How many of you work for agencies in here? Okay, about half. And in-house, I'm assuming, is the other half. Okay, cool. It's about 50-50. I wasn't expecting that. Today, for in-house marketers, I'm hoping that my story can help you understand how to get buy-in from your executives to invest more in digital marketing. For agency marketers, I want to show you how you can win large proposals like American Fidelity, and also how to get your clients to continue to invest more in digital. I really need to give you guys a big background on American Fidelity so that you can understand how truly far that we've come since last year. Like I mentioned before, American Fidelity's been around since 1960. We're a traditional marketing company, so boots on the ground, direct sales is really what they depended on. Marketing wasn't viewed as a strategic arm of the company. I like to call it a collateral vending machine, pumping out flyers, brochures, some email blasts, but digital marketing wasn't a part of the culture. It wasn't part of the business sales strategy. But they had been successful. They're a billion-dollar company. So how was I going to convince them that they needed digital marketing? How could I convince them that it would actually help their sales strategy and come alongside what they're already doing? When American Fidelity hired me, I don't think that they knew what they were getting into. I am very passionate about digital marketing, like really, really passionate about it. And so when I came in, I was super excited. I was ready to just blow their freaking minds with all this cool stuff that digital could do. They were really starting from the ground, so honestly, the only way to go from there was up. The possibilities felt endless and exciting, and I was just ready to come in and show them everything that digital could do and make them a whole bunch of money. This is when I learned the difference between agency marketing and in-house marketing. And if any of you have ever moved from one to the other, you'll understand what I'm about to explain. Agency marketing is a wakeboard boat. You can move really quickly, you can change directions whenever you want to, but you can't really go that far in a wakeboard boat. The waves you make aren't super big, they're not long-lasting, but you're still extremely nimble. However, you're limited by your client contracts. You can't really do a ton of long-term planning. You can't go that far in a wakeboard boat. In-house marketing is a cruise ship. It takes more than one person to turn the boat a different direction. However, if you can get the boat to turn, the impact is going to be greater, you're going to go a lot farther, and you'll have the potential to make a huge impact in your company. When I first realized this, it was extremely discouraging. I saw this big cruise ship after hopping off this wakeboard boat and thought, I am in way over my head. There is no way that I'm going to get this 60-year-old company to turn a different direction. The marketing team was actually really excited about digital. It was just everybody else in the company that needed to contribute their resources that we needed the buy-in from. So after I took a step back and realized this, I realized that we needed to create a culture of digital marketing from the inside out so that we could get all the way to the captain's hole and turn the ship. Is the hole the right word? I don't know boat terms. It's fine. My first takeaway for you guys is be a student of the business. When I say the business, I'm not talking about being a student of digital marketing. Absolutely. Ruth talked about that yesterday. You have to know your stuff. I'm actually talking about being a student of your company's business. Understand how they make money. Who do they sell to? Why do they sell to them? How do they get customers? What are their challenges? You cannot expect to sell digital marketing to your company if you don't know how it works. This is the same thing for agencies. Understand how your clients' businesses work so that you know how to pitch digital marketing. If you don't know where to start, I did put a few questions in the slide deck. I'm not going to read through those, but you guys are welcome to utilize these as you're getting started. My second point is work with what you have. You are not going to create a digital revolution in one day, 1 year. It may take 2.5 years, which is where we are today. But if you can do great things with what you're given, your company is going to trust you with the larger campaigns. This is especially important for agencies. American Fidelity did not have the budget for digital marketing that you would expect from a billion-dollar company because we had never done it before. We had to crawl before we could run. So the agencies that were willing to work with us with a smaller budget at first, they're the ones that we're going to trust in the future as we continue to get more and more digitally integrated. So you guys might see an opportunity like American Fidelity and pitch a really big contract with not very many different levels because you expect them to be able to afford it. But I would encourage you all to allow them to pare it down so that they're comfortable so that you can have the long-term investment in the future. At American Fidelity, what I did when I first came in is I just evaluated what are they already doing that doesn't have digital marketing or that could be better at digital marketing. The first thing I looked at is email. The system they were using to send was a little bit antiquated, and they had no tracking. They didn't know the open rate, they didn't know the click rate, they didn't have a bunch of campaigns going, it was a lot of one-offs, and so I just decided to implement something simple like UTM tracking. Show them how their efforts are actually leading people back to the website. For content, they had a blog. Back when the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act happened in, I think it was 2012, they created a blog and they were writing content that was content marketing. It wasn't sales content, it was about the ACA and how our employers can learn, but then they just stopped writing on it. So this blog was stagnant. So I just asked them for the password. Can we start writing content on this blog again? I did have to explain to our compliance team the difference between a social media post and a blog. That's actually pretty difficult to do when someone doesn't understand the difference of those things. But once we got past that point, we started utilizing our internal experts to create the content with us. That created internal buzz and excitement, and those people wanted to share those articles on their LinkedIn, their profiles. The marketing was happening for us, and it was relevant. I'm not an expert on insurance. I needed these people to help me. So if you're in-house and you're not utilizing your in-house experts, highly recommend that you do that because it's going to just make your job so much easier. The next thing we did was optimization. And I know Kellen just said to let a professional do this. And I agree. We did hire a professional to help us. But I had to get buy-in first. So what I did is I utilized what I've learned through Confluence, by watching Ma's Whiteboard Friday, by looking through all of these resources and figured out what could I do on site to optimize AmericanFidelity.com. The old website was not ranking for anything. There were no page titles, no meta descriptions. Their H tags were out of order and didn't have keywords. And so I just did these really simple things to make a difference. And it actually worked. Surprisingly, even though those things are a little bit outdated and obviously are table stakes in SEO, we started to see a difference in our organic traffic. One lesson that I do want you guys to learn from me on this is measure your results before and after and make sure that you tell people that you're doing this. I remember going to a meeting being so excited because one of our pages was actually ranking for a term that we had optimized for. And I printed off the Google results, and I was like, you guys are never going to guess. We actually are showing up for this term. We have page titles now. It's awesome. And they were like, oh, that's been there. I'm like, no, there's no way. This page didn't even have a page title on it. But there was no proof. I couldn't actually prove that that was the work that I had done. So please, please, please measure before and after. Just like Ruth talked about yesterday, tell them as you go, as things are happening. The last thing is not necessarily going to be applicable to everyone, and that's print tracking. A lot of regulated industries like insurance still use a lot of print because the way that we contact our potential customers is through their annual enrollment during their employer benefit fair or something like that. We put URLs on those print materials, so why aren't we putting tracking behind them so that we can actually see if people are coming to our website? Really simple thing, just throw UTM on it, put it in Bitly, put it on the print material, and measure what happens. All of these things helped to show how digital marketing actually has an effect on the things that they're doing. It also helped us support that we needed a new website, which is what we ended up being able to do. My next point is show what digital can do. This slide probably also should have been titled Keep It Simple. You have to show what digital marketing can do in a clear, linear, concise way so that your company understands how it relates to real business results. Ruth talked about this a lot yesterday. People have been talking about it all day. You have to be able to go to an executive team who's never heard of digital marketing before and help them understand how it can come alongside what they're already doing. My advice to you about this is take a campaign that already exists in your company that may or may not have digital a part of it and show how digital marketing can integrate along with it just to enhance what's already happening. We're actually going to play a little bit of role play for just a second. I am Rachel still, but you guys are going to be my executive team. So in the next few minutes, when I say you are the executive team, so don't get confused. I'm actually going to show you guys a real presentation that we gave last year to explain how digital marketing can work. So here's the situation. American Fidelity, just like a lot of B2B companies, utilize associations, which is just groups of employers, to make business relationships. There's a national association for our education market that has a conference every year. We go to that conference, and we do marketing before and after every year. We've done postcards and letters. I think last year and the year before, we tried an email blast. The conference gives us a list, and we're able to market from that. So all I did is show them how we can actually make this a bigger campaign and potentially lead them to have real leads and prospects. Okay, so skit is starting now. So every year, you guys know that we do pre-conference marketing for the ASBO conference. We receive a list from the conference. We can actually upload that into social media, and show ads specific to the conference about American Fidelity to these people's social channels. As they get to the conference, hopefully these ads will spark their interest and they'll have brand awareness about who we are and come to our booth. After they've arrived at our booth, you guys know we already do a post-conference marketing postcard. We're actually going to add a URL to that postcard and put tracking on it. So when people go to the website from that postcard, we'll know exactly who they are, or they may go to the website just straight from the conference. This is the old website, PS. I'll show you the new one in a second. After they leave the website, we can actually put cookies on them to track them throughout their internet experience. So putting Google AdWords, display ads, social media ads. On the top there's actually a subscribe to our newsletter ad. We can get people involved in our sales funnel without actually selling to them, get them the content that we've been writing that your salespeople have been helping with, so that we can potentially turn them into leads. All of these ads link back to AmericanFidelity.com, which further supports the need to have a really great website. If they fill out the lead form, or if they fill out a lead form on AmericanFidelity.com, we're going to send these leads to Salesforce. That way, your field sales staff knows when the leads come in, they know where they came from, they know they came from this conference. And potentially, we may have like an iPad also at the conference booth that they can sign up for. All of these leads are going to go into Salesforce, and they have the opportunity to trigger a prospect drip campaign. This journey is actually based on engagement, so whether or not they open or click, they'll receive the next email in the series. All of these things lead back to AmericanFidelity.com. Okay, skit's over. We're back to Confluence. This is an extremely linear path for digital marketing. It is not complicated. You guys know, as the experts, that you could do so much more. The branches of this could go out so many different directions, but we did not want to overwhelm our team. We put in things that were already happening, such as the booth and the conference postcard, and emphasize that people are going to visit the website over and over and over. And we can get them in our sales funnel quicker, and we can get them engaged and potentially create real leads. My last point is define digital success. And this has been talked about a lot at this conference, and I think it's just super important. You all have to define what it means to have a success in a campaign. It can mean showing industry averages for email rates. Specific example, I was so excited after our first newsletter went out, and we had a 30% open rate. I was pumped because for insurance, 22% is the average, so 30 was awesome. So I went to the meeting, I was super excited, and someone's like, well, what about the other 70%? I was like, yeah, they didn't open it, but it's still awesome, 30%'s great. So they didn't know how to celebrate with us. Now every single report that we give for email, I give the industry averages and what we expected. The second part of that is to be honest and transparent about failure. Be upfront about your campaigns. I loved what Ruth said yesterday about setting expectations early and then set and manage. That's exactly what you need to do so that when you do fail, or if you fail, they know exactly what to expect. They know that you have a plan to do something different. That would be my main piece of advice here is tell them what potentially could go wrong in a campaign and tell them what you're going to do to fix it before the campaign even starts. Being honest and transparent with your clients, especially I think for agencies, is difficult because you don't want to lose them. It's a little easier for me at American Fidelity because we have a culture that says you can't succeed without failure. But I think for agencies, your clients feel a lot more fragile. But they're going to absolutely respect you more if you're honest about what will and won't work so that you can actually try new things. Being honest about the potential for digital and also the potential failures has given us the latitude to try all sorts of new things. The results. So I want to show you guys kind of the before and after of the website so you all can see the difference that it has made to have the buy-in and culture of digital marketing at American Fidelity. So this was our old website. It was a little bit outdated, as you can tell. It was actually not created by our marketing team. The branding company who helped us with our rebrand back in 2016 created this for us. And it was essentially just an online brochure. There was no navigation, as you guys can see. And the user experience was just not awesome. Our bounce rate off the homepage was like 65%. That's bad, just in case you were wondering. So we got the buy-in and the resources and dedicated the entire marketing team and essentially got the entire company on board that we needed a new website. And here it is. Much better. Yeah, you can clap. Thank you. So our lead developer is actually in the room, Ed, so great job, Ed. AmericanFidelity.com now is a hub for digital marketing. It's a place our prospects can go and learn about us. We actually have calls to action on the page. We have a navigation. We have great visuals and people and icons to help people understand what we actually do and who we are. For American Fidelity, our marketing team doesn't just do prospect and lead generation. We actually are customer support as well. So we built an entire customer support section dedicated to all of our products and services so that they could self-serve and not have to call American Fidelity. The old website definitely encouraged people to call because they couldn't find answers to anything. So we created this entire section just dedicated to retaining customers because that's just important as getting new ones. I'll end with this. Be a student of the business, your business and your client's business. Work with what you have and be successful with the small things, and they'll give you the buy-in. Show what digital can do, keep it extremely, extremely simple, and define digital success. Through these things, and with passion, patience, and persistence, your companies will follow. Thank you.